Hello, good morning. Good morning. Okay, so today we're going to do a couple of different things today. And the first thing that we're going to start off with is a guided meditation. I have done quite a few coaching calls this week. This week has been a busy week for me with coaching calls, and practically everyone, almost every single woman I've had a coaching call with this week has cried during that call. This has been an emotional week for us, Black women. And so we're going to today go through a guided meditation for us this week. All right. So welcome to everyone. Good morning, friends. Good morning, everyone here. If you're new, my name is Stephanie Perry. I'm a year-round house sitter. I'm the creator of House Sitter School. I'm the co-creator of Exodus Summit. I help Black women take a sabbatical, move abroad, bop around as a digital nomad. I help Black women do less and embrace ease. So I'm glad that you're here. One of the ways that we embrace ease, or one of the reasons, I guess, that we embrace ease is for our own self-care. So the focus of today is self-care, and I had to bring on a very good friend of mine, okay, so I bring Yolanda on. In my mind, Yolanda and I are very good friends. Okay, welcome, Yolanda.
We are, Stephanie.
Okay,
I talk about you so much. If your ears are ever ringing, it's me talking about this amazing woman who has this amazing platform. Good morning, everyone. I am grateful and honored to be with you today. As Stephanie said, it was also a busy week for me, coaching wise. I am a spiritual life coach, Reiki master teacher, guided meditation practitioner, and so on and so on and so on. And in all of the healing spaces that I have been in this week, there has been a lot of emotional release for several different reasons.
yes. Yeah, a couple. So we've had things going on. The tears that I have had shed in my sessions this week, they have been wrapped around a lot of things, a lot of grief and fear, right? But also a lot of release. And like, I am now moving into a new part of my life. I'm now embracing the things in my life that I want for myself and having to let go of some things that I had been focusing on that I found out are, actually not for me. They're not part of my life, right? There's a lot of emotion happening right now, a lot of um, mixed, a lot of emotions contributing to the way that we feel and the way we've been feeling this week. You said that you've kind of stepped, have you spent the week kind of like isolating yourself to step away from the feelings of people? How do you handle it as a coach?
Absolutely, because if I'm holding space for other people, my space needs to be energetically high.
Yeah.
And so that means not so much engagement in social media, not so much engagement with the news, not so much engaged with external forces that I have no control over.
Yeah.
And so I'm doing a lot of self care this week because I am charged with facilitating healing for others. And so I can't do what I'm asking others to do if I'm not doing it for me. And I know that's true for everyone that is watching.
That's right.
I know I am among, because I can feel it, I am among a group of caregivers, overdoers, overthinkers who feel things profoundly. And when you are that type of person, regardless of whether you are personally involved in challenges or circumstances that are going on externally to you, you feel it, you absorb it.
Yeah.
And so, one of the ways in which I take care of myself is disconnecting or being very mindful of where my energy is going.
Yeah.
And for me, energy is focus, attention, and time. Where am I spending my time?
Mm.
What has my attention? And what am I focusing on? And that has been very purposeful for me this week in terms of what we are feeling personally and what we're feeling collectively.
Yes. All right. So we're going to, Yolanda is going to lead us through a guided meditation. Before that, let me let you know that in the description of the video already, you can find links to Yolanda's website, yolandatool.com. You'll find links to her Instagram, her YouTube channel, and so those links are already there for you. Okay, so if you are a person who is here for the guided meditation and then you're going to drop off, don't forget to look in the description of the video to find ways to continue to hear from and learn from Coach Yolanda. Okay? Okay, so what do we need to get started with our guided meditation?
Okay, first and foremost, in anything that you do, I want you to breathe. I want all of us to start to take command over our breath. It does not have to be based upon any method or any type of rhythm. You decide what feels comfortable to you. So we're going to connect with the breath. We're going to make sure that we are in a comfortable, safe space. If we are creating a healing moment, we want to make sure that we enter into it in a safe way. That means if you have any restrictive clothing, you might want to loosen it up. The way that you are sitting or standing or laying, you might want to make sure that your body feels supported. If there are any distractions or noise that you can control, I would ask that you eliminate them as much as possible. Knowing that you are safe and secure is what is going to connect you to this meditation on another level. And again, we are taking care of one another, we are taking care of ourselves, and we are doing that collectively. And so if I'm taking care of me, that means I'm taking care of you too. And so if you are watching this with someone else, you might want to hold their hand. It's not necessary, but understand that you are holding space for not just yourself, but for everyone who is joined here today. And so as we continue to breathe, this guided meditation will be done without music. And so I want us to really focus on what we are thinking, what we are feeling, what we may be holding in our consciousness. Now, as a Reiki practitioner, I work with the chakras. The chakras, if you are unfamiliar, it's your energy system. All of us are energy. We're energetic. Everything around us has an energy to it. A component of emotion and thought and behavior can make up your energy that you give out. And certainly, if we have felt disconnected, if we have felt overwhelmed with what is going on internally and externally in our world, it's now a good time to be guided into a safe and sacred healing place. So let everyone just take 3 deep breaths, and you're going to continue to breathe throughout the meditation. I have a bell here which will signal the beginning and the end. So again, you feel safe, you know what is coming. And we don't want to sit with an energy of expectation, but sit with an energy of anticipation that my healing has now begun. And so, as you are creating safety for yourself by becoming comfortable, I would also ask if it's comfortable for you to allow your eyelids to fall, then do so. If it's safe for you, then allow your eyelids to fall. Become the comfort, safe space that you need in this right now moment. And at the ringing of the bell, we will start to go through our energy system to see what may be going on and how we can call ourselves into a different experience. And as we continue to breathe, let us think about our bodies as an operating system. We are filled with so much information. We absorb so much information in this right now moment. As we continue to breathe, let's just imagine that we are absorbing light. We are absorbing the lightness that is necessary to reach every space, every cell, every fiber within our body. From the bottoms of our feet to the top of our heads, we are going to cleanse and clear and create pathways for healing in this guided meditation. There is no right or wrong. There is only all that is. In this right now moment, you are safe, you are protected, and you are being guided to your greatest healing in this right now moment. And as you continue to take deep breaths at the base of your spine, imagine at the base of your spine, throughout your hips, your legs, your knees, all the way down to your feet. Imagine that it is being illuminated by a healing light in this moment. You know, energetically, this part of our body holds a lot. Our feet hold and connect to the great mother, Mother Earth, and we absorb all of the energies that are present in our skin. Our skin is also a part of that energetic field that we all have. So in this right now moment, imagine that there is healing light surrounding you, coming from the base of your feet through your ankles, And feel that healing light coming up through your knees. And if you are having any awarenesses in your body, awareness could be also a terminology for pain. If there is an awareness in your body, it is your body saying, I need some love and attention in this area. Intended to be so through your breathing, through the visualization in your mind. Imagine that healing light is surrounding the lower portion of your body from the base of your spine all the way down to the great mother, Earth. And if there are feelings of frustration that are held in this area of your body, we ask that they be lifted. The experiences of the past couple of days, the past couple of months, the past couple of years have required each and every single one of us to process information that may have us disappointed, frustrated, and just feeling out of sorts and disconnected. Perhaps we feel disconnected from ourselves, one another, the world outside of our protective bubble, whether it is personally, professionally, within your relationships, your family, your friends, your relationship with money. There may be a level of frustration, and there may also be a level of anger that you have yet to process. In this right now moment, I want you to open your proverbial arms to invite all of that emotion, all of those feelings, not feeling safe, not feeling secure, not knowing what may be coming next. All of that is within you. And if you are connecting to it in this right now moment, take a deep breath. Welcome it into this healing, sacred moment. And ask that the energy of your understanding, your higher power, come through in this right now moment to cleanse and clear that space in your body from your base of your spine. Maybe there's something going on in your lower back, something in your hips, your thighs, your knees, your legs, your ankles, your toes. If there is an awareness in this moment, we are calling that healing light into those spaces, into those places where we are holding energies of frustration, uncertainty, not feeling safe. And in this right now moment, we are creating the possibility that we possess the power through our words and through our intentions to connect with the higher power, to support that energy. Everything that you are feeling in this right now moment and at all times is valid. Embracing what you are processing, so much information, so much uncertainty about yourself, even. We are raising that energy higher in this moment. Recognizing that there may have been times in the past where we have felt this before, and that this too shall pass. And if that mantra is comforting to you in this moment, repeat it to yourself silently. This too shall pass. This too shall pass. This energy that I am embracing in this moment can be transformed into something greater. This too shall pass. That I have the ability to rise to another level of consciousness. That I am in full control in this right now moment. The safety that I seek is within me. The security that I seek is within me. The balance and the harmony and the groundedness that I seek is within me as I am supported by the Great Mother. Imagine that energy reaching all the way to the center of the Earth's core and returning to your feet, to your ankles, to your knees, to your hips, and to all of those emotions and feelings that you may be holding in that area. And as we continue to go through our energetic system, the thing that regulates what we think, what we feel, and how we behave, and how we respond to external forces. Let us remain internally in this moment. Continue to take some deep breaths and come and visualize that area right below your navel, right above your reproductive organs, that also holds energy. If you have been experiencing lack of creativity, lack of connection to your emotions, connecting to other people, if you have felt and are feeling overwhelmed, that energy can be stored right here below your belly button in that energetic field that is called the sacral chakra. We started with the root, we are now in the sacral chakra. And this energetic field also holds emotions, how we feel about ourselves. And certainly, the past couple of days have made us all feel. What more can I do? What more do I need to do to protect myself, protect my loved ones? Where will I find my safety? How can I deal with these emotions, these thoughts and feelings that seem to overwhelm me? Why am I responding to things in ways that seem imbalanced? Just visualize that place in your body that holds all of that energy right above your reproductive organs. And if there is an awareness in that area of your body that you may label as pain or discomfort, call it up in this right now moment. Call upon your higher power to come into your universe, your personal universe, to do what healing light does. It reforms, it transforms. So those feelings of attack and concern that we might be holding in our consciousness and in our bodies can be released in this moment. And if you feel so led to take your own hands, which are also tools of healing, and place them in areas of your body that are calling out for love, that are giving you an awareness that love is necessary and needed in that part of your body, then feel so led to place your hands there and allow the healing light that is already within you to go into those places and into those spaces, to connect with those feelings of anger, to connect with those feelings that you may be internalizing, someone else's grief, someone else's hardships, someone else's overwhelming emotions being absorbed into your energetic field and sometimes consume us. In this right now moment, we are calling forth healing light. And just envision your body becoming regulated because you have intended it to be so, and that you are connected with other individuals who are sharing in this healing process. We are healing one another. We have done it since the beginning of time, and it is true now. Women, this is our power, the power of healing. Let us heal ourselves so that we have the capacity to heal others. In this right now moment, connect with your emotions. What is coming up for you? What are you feeling? It is valid, and it is also necessary for you to see what is going on internally so that you're not taken by surprise, so that your body is not in a state of hypervigilance. Relax yourself in this moment. Drop those shoulders down. Take a deep breath and reclaim your body. When we are watching and absorbing so many forces, intending to take command and control over our bodies, it is a requirement for us to return internally to reclaim our own agency over our own bodies. In this right now moment, I am asking you to connect with your emotions. Maybe you've been numbing them to make it through this week. Maybe you've needed to shut down and shut out the world so that you are able to do and meet all of the responsibilities of your life. In this right now moment where all is safe, we are caring for one another. I'm going to ask you to let go. I'm going to ask you to trust that you are in a healing space and you will get what you need in this right now moment because you intended to be so. If your hips are feeling tight and you need to move a little bit, then do that as well. Sometimes those emotions want to be resistant and they want to fight us, but we are calling ourselves higher in this moment to say, I am deserving of healing. I am deserving of peace. I am deserving of safety, security, and nurturing in this right now moment and always. And I am reclaiming it for myself. And as we continue to call our body into balance, let's move up above our navel into our solar plexus, also holding energy. It holds the energy of our thoughts, how we think about ourselves. And maybe you're feeling apathetic to everything that you are seeing. That's a valid emotion. Maybe you're feeling that no one is focusing on us yet again. Valid feeling. Maybe you are feeling that you are internalizing what others are saying as criticizing yourself. How are you thinking about you in this right now moment? Let's call in all of the energetic healing forces that are available to us at this right now moment, all the ancestors, spirit guides, all the energies that are present to love and to heal us are present in this right now moment. Let us call them into our consciousness to heal how we see and what we think about ourselves, how beautiful we are, how resilient we are. Maybe you're tired of being resilient. Maybe you're tired of being strong. One of the strongest things that you can do is let go. Let go in this moment. Those critical thoughts that serve no purpose in this right now moment. Those judgments that you are holding against yourself or other people. You don't need that right now. Let's take a deep breath and release that. Find your calm center. If you need to take your hands and place them above your navel, in your abdomen, maybe there are some things that you are experiencing physically that have a mental and emotional component. If you are having any digestive issues because of what you've been absorbing, not just what you're eating, let's call in the healing light into those spaces, all the way down to the cells in our body. The bones, the fiber, the blood being healed and cleansed in this moment, being brought into balance because we intended to be so. Because of our own self respect, self value for who we are, and all that we have gone through, not just in this right now moment, generationally. We are cleansing for our mothers, we are cleansing for our daughters, our spiritual mothers, our spiritual daughters, grandmothers, all of the great mothers that have come before us. Let us do the work that they may not have been able to do and take full autonomy over how we think and see ourselves. And if that feels good to you, and I'm sure that it does, let's take a deep breath and go up to our heart. Now, your heart and the energy that is held in your heart extends all the way out to your fingertips, which is why I said these are healing tools, your hands. If you feel guided to place them right at heart center and take a deep breath. Take a deep breath for all of the love that you feel you have been unable to give yourself in this right now moment. Take a deep breath for all of the times that you have felt rejected, when you have felt envious. And we're going to call up that love and compassion that is held in our heart energy center. It is not by accident that this beautiful energetic center is at the center of our bodies. All things lead to the heart. All things must be cleansed in love. Call up the love that you feel may have been absent in particular spaces. Certainly, the ugliness that we may have been experiencing, either personally or collectively. We need that love right now, that love that is within you. You may think that it is absent, hidden, it has been disrupted or broken. Let us take a deep breath and reclaim the love that is within us. Let us ask all of our spirit team, our spirit guides, our ancestors, and the God of our understanding to come into our heart in this moment to say, I am loved. I am deserving of love. And I see love wherever I go, even in those places where it seems as though it is absent. I am standing firm and loving myself. I will do what is necessary to maintain a level of love for myself, even if others cannot appreciate it. As I said, all feelings are valid in this right now moment. Ask your heart, what are you feeling? Ask your heart, what have you been dealing with? What have you been trying to process? What is making you heavy? And embrace whatever that answer is. Maybe it is loss and grief. Maybe it is words unspoken, things you did not hear. Speak them to your heart in this right now moment. I love you. And I'm going to fight to continue to love you despite any force, hidden or in my face, that is attempting to disarm me from loving myself, loving my community, loving my tribe, loving the group of individuals that I love. I will not allow ugliness and hate to rest in my heart space. And as we continue to breathe and imagine that energy is radiating throughout your shoulders, I hope you have dropped them by now, and that it is spread out to your elbows, your arms, your hands, your fingertips, so that everything you touch becomes the love that is within you. And as we continue to take deep breaths, let's go up to our throat. Our beautiful, beautiful energy center, the throat. And perhaps there are cries that have not been able to be expressed in your throat. You want to cry. You're tired of crying. You can't stop crying. Maybe there's a scream, a shout, some sort of expression that feels as though it has been lodged in your throat. Maybe you have felt overly dependent upon other people speaking for you because you haven't felt as though you have found your voice. Or maybe you've just been talking too much, trying to process and figure out what is going on in the world. Maybe you've been criticizing yourself and others, not because you intend to cause harm, because you're trying to process what is going on. Let's reclaim that energy in this right now moment, recognizing that the truth lies in your throat. You know who you are. You know how to express yourself. Because of all of that love that you've cleansed and cleaned and generated in your heart space, it's no accident that the heart and the throat chakras are right next to each other. They work together. We speak life over ourselves in this right now moment, even though others may be attempting to diminish our human experience, our life experience. We are pouring life through our throat in this moment by declaring and decreeing, Again, I am deserving of love. I am love. I can express myself clearly. I have powers within me that would love to come and be expressed in this right now moment. I speak to myself in kind ways. I affirm who I am. We are calling on that energy. You're having any issues in your neck, in your throat area, it's calling for some love, something that needs to be said, something that needs to be created, asking for help, asking for support. All of those things may be lodged in your throat chakra, not speaking the truth. Someone is asking, how are you doing? And you say, I'm good, I'm doing well. And you know that's not the truth. Let us bring truth to power and say what we are feeling and what we are experiencing so that we can get the healing that we deserve. Let us affirm it in this right now moment. I am deserving of healing. Black bodies are deserving of healing and love, respect, and honor. Affirm it to be so, and it shall be so in your body first, and then we pour it out into the world. And as we continue to take those deep breaths, remember that energy is coming from the center of the earth through our feet, our legs, our hips, our abdomen, our heart, our throat. And now we go up here to this lovely center between our eyebrows. Third eye for some, brow for others, energetic for all. And if you have been experiencing discomfort in your brain, you just can't process what's going on. It doesn't make sense. It's confusing. There's no purpose to it. And it's making you doubt yourself. Your powerful self is now questioning, who am I? If other people want to cause harm to my body, then who am I? What have I done? We internalize a lot of other people's feelings, thoughts, and their behavior. We internalize that as questioning who we are. I'm going to need each and every single one of us to take a deep breath and fall into the I am. I know who I am. I am sure of my purpose in this life. I have wisdom that I have obtained that is necessary for my healing and the healing of others. And I am sure that the visions that I hold for myself are possible. I will not fall into race consciousness that says I am less than, or I need to beg, or plead, or ask to be recognized, to be seen, or to be heard. I am as I am. I stand on that. I see it, I feel it, I know it to be true. Let's call up all of the energies that is supporting that affirmation. I am well. I am healed. I am healing. I am greatness. I am power. When we are seeing and absorbing so much information that does not make sense, we may have awarenesses in our body, headaches, dizziness. There's a lot of things going on. You might find yourself being clumsy. We're absorbing a lot. We're holding on to a lot. Let it go. Let it go so that you can see the truth. That you are who you are. And the great I am is with you at all times, despite what may be going on externally in our bodies in this right now moment. We are well. And if that feels so good to you, if you are feeling more like your natural true self, because we came here whole and balanced, despite what anyone else may have said about who we are and how we got here, we are here for a purpose and on purpose. And if you can call upon that energy, let's go to the top of our heads, our crown, highest point on our bodies, energetic connection to the great I am, the God of your understanding, your higher power. called by many names. Ooh, let's allow that light, that healing energy to flow into our crown at this moment. It's going to solidify everything that we've done here today, everything that we've created. Visualize your energy center being illuminated with light from below and from above, cleansing and healing, affirming what you know to be true, not what you have absorbed or what someone else has said, but what you know to be true, that we are connected to the great I am. And if you have been feeling uncertain and disconnected from the spiritual essence of who you are, call it up right now. Use your throat energetically. Use the I am and say, I am in need of healing in this moment. And I am aware that it is happening, unfolding for me right now. If you need to place both of your hands there, then do so, please. You are in full control. Again, you have autonomy over your body. We are connecting to the energy of a higher power that is connected to us at all times, whether we are consciously aware of it or not. We are always connected. Let us become consciously and unconsciously aware. Let us come back into balance, where we are connected to our source, where we are well aware of how great we are as expressions of the divine. And within your own divinity, you have the power, you possess the power to allow the wisdom, the divine wisdom that is within you, to eliminate, transform those energies that are no longer serving you, that pain, that frustration, that anger. I want you to embrace it and then release it when it is no longer necessary. All emotions are valid. All emotions are a connection to who you are and what is coming up for you. So embrace them and then ask that they be cleansed if it's necessary. If there is something greater for me, then let it come in this right now moment. If there is something that I am unaware of in my consciousness that is holding me back from the healing that I deserve, I am releasing it in this right now moment. And let it be cleansed so that it does not harm anyone else in the collective consciousness. And when you think about your crown chakra and its connection, visualize that light just showering you from your head to your face, the back of your head, your throat, your shoulders, your arms. We're not going to forget the back. We are being showered in this right now moment all the way down to our fingertips, our chest, our abdomen, our hips, our thighs, our knees, our legs, our ankles, all the way down to that little pinky baby toe. We are the bottom of our feet. It is no wonder that our skin absorbs light. We are light. And it is necessary for not just us, but the collective consciousness to get the healing that we deserve, to allow ourselves to breathe again deeply and fully and intentionally, so that we are not holding our breath, waiting for the next attack, waiting for the next offense. Let us be reminded of who we are and who we declare ourselves to be. That at any time, in any place, we can call upon that energy that is within us. We can transform that energy that is no longer serving us, but is also asking us to be aware of what is going on internally. What did I absorb? What did I internalize? I internalized someone else's hate. I internalized someone else's anger. I internalized someone else's sadness. And if it's not serving me and it is not necessary for my healing, I release it into the ether, knowing that the great mother that I am standing on and the great I am that I am connected to is cleansing me in this right now moment. We are each here for a purpose, on purpose, with full intention to be the best and highest and greatest versions of ourselves that we allow ourselves to be. Let us not allow external forces to come in and disrupt what has to be so, what will be. And so visualize your energetic center all along your spinal cord. Just take an internal examination of what is going on for you internally in this right now moment, where you have done the healing work to recalibrate, to balance, to bring yourself back into harmony, which is your natural state of being. Yes, there are tears, frustration. Yes, we may be angry. Those are all valid emotions. What part of you is experiencing this emotion? And how are you going to provide the healing that it deserves? We deserve to be seen. We deserve to be heard. We deserve to be comforted. We deserve to be nurtured. Let us do that for ourselves. Let us do that within our communities. Let us do that wherever we may go, so that if we see it is absent, it is a call to action for us to internalize our power, absorb what is good for us, and do the work that we know is necessary for our own healing and for the healing of our communities. Each and every single one of us created in love, as love, showing up as love. Know that your cries are always answered, that your pain is valid and can be addressed. And if there is support that you need, you have the power within you to ask for it because you are deserving. You are deserving of all of the love that is within you and that created you. And so continue to visualize your body right now has been cleansed and cleared. We had a shower. We had a healing shower. We did not diminish any experience, any feeling, any thought. We called it up higher to say, hey, I'm going to give you what you need. And if there are places and spaces where you are not allowing yourself to experience the fullness of who you are, just know that in this right now moment, you created a healing ritual for yourself. And you can do that at any time. I may have given the words, but you had the intention. How powerful you are, how grateful I am that each and every single one of us is connected in this right now moment, and we are taking care of one another. And so as we continue to breathe with each other at our own pace, in our own way, in full control of ourselves and still remaining connected, let's start to move parts of our body that over this time together may have started to go asleep, may also be saying, hey, I need something now. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes if you need to. You need to do a little shimmy to wake yourself up. Just know that what you have created in this moment will remain with you always. And at the ringing of the bell, it signifies that we are complete in our healing process for this right now moment, but that it will continue because you intended it to be so. Continue to take some deep breaths, and at the ringing of the bell, if you feel so led to open your eyes and return to your state of awareness, then please do so. And we want to thank all energies that were present with us, supporting us, the ancestors, the God of your understanding, all manner of things. I felt it. I don't know if you felt it, but I certainly felt it. And I'm grateful for so many of you. You got a lot of healers in this space. And so I'm grateful, grateful,
Thank you so
grateful.
much. Oh, sorry.
No, you're fine. You're
Sorry.
fine.
Thank you so much, Yolanda. Thank you for guiding us through this. And thank you, ladies. Thank you, friends, for being here and for participating. So you talked about how important it is that we did this as a collective. What is the difference between uh, the individual and the collective when it comes to like a guided meditation or a healing process? Why is there more power in us being together and doing this together? Or is there more power in us doing this together?
Absolutely. We were all designed and wired to be connected. We are absolutely, I am responsible for you and everyone on this call.
Yes.
If I'm not well, then I take my unwellness out into the world. Now I've infected
Yeah.
other people. And that's what we're seeing. We're seeing unhealed people
Yeah.
who don't know how to express their hurt, their sadness, and their anger. And somehow it's everyone else's fault. So I'm going to project it onto you. So whether we are consciously aware or not, we are connected.
Yes.
I don't have to know you to know how you hurt, to know what it triggers something in each and every single one of us. At
Uh-huh.
least I hope it does.
Yeah.
And so individual healing, right? Because you got to fill your own cup up first. So individual healing is important so that when I do come to the collective, because I'm always here, I'm always there, no matter if I'm aware of it or not, I'm whole as much as possible so that my sadness does not collect with the other sadness. Because that's how we lose people in isolation, people suffering, feeling like it's just me, no one can help me,
Yes. Yes.
don't see any hope. And
Mhm.
so it is a requirement that we recognize that we are connected and that we are all a part of the collective consciousness. What I think about myself absolutely affects everyone because it changes the way in which I have human interaction.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And if it changes the way in which I have human interactions, so now my life experience has changed, your life experience has changed, and sometimes we don't even know. I know we each have experienced being in a place where we're like, it just feels funky in here, and I don't even know why. And you're in the midst of everyone feeling a particular way, but no one's saying anything.
Mhm.
No one's dealing with it. No one's expressing it. You ever been in a household where something's going on and no one wants to talk about it? Whoo, it's heavy. The energy is heavy. And so we each are responsible for ourselves. And that responsibility extends to the collective consciousness, the collective, because again, whether we are aware of it or not, other people's behavior impacts how we see ourselves and how we see the world.
Yes. Can we talk a little bit about the feelings that we feel when we go through a process like this, when we go through a meditation like this? Um, I used to think that the point was to get smash down the feelings that start to come up when you start I liked the way you put it. I took some notes with my eyes half closed, but you said um, you're what you called the instead of pain you in the body, you called it awareness, or like awareness of what's happening. We sometimes I think that we sometimes confuse um, like recognizing something within us with having to ignore what sometimes we recognize things and we think that the point is to ignore that or to get rid of it, not to feel it.
Mhm.
Can we talk a little bit about feeling our feelings instead of I think what I'm getting, it took me a long time to get to the point, but what I
No,
think the point is.
I know what you mean, but it's a
Okay.
learned behavior. It's a
Okay.
learned behavior. Think about it. From the time you're born, we want babies to cry. That's our first
Hmm.
communication, crying. But then after it, you get home, I don't want you crying anymore. What's the baby crying for? Let's, do something to stop that. So it's a learned behavior for all of us that if something comes up, it has to be addressed immediately. It has to be stopped. It has to be interrupted. And so we learn and then we label that's a good feeling, that's a bad feeling, that's a negative thing, that's a positive thing. When all of it is an awareness, right? Things sometimes for some people, they got to hurt really, really bad before they address the situation.
Yeah.
And so we have been taught, if you're in pain, here's something to take where now you don't feel the pain. You
Hmm.
may not feel the pain, but it doesn't mean that the issue has been solved.
Right.
It's still there.
That's
And so, what better way to get to the root? Just as if you had an issue medically, you would go to a doctor to say, let's get to the root of this issue to see, is there something that we need to get rid of
right. Hmm.
that is no longer serving us because now it's impacting our life experience? So I say embracing emotions is like surgery, spiritual surgery. Let me see what that is. I have a right to be angry. How could I have lived through all that I've lived through, and you're going to deny me the right to be angry? That's no. I have to feel it because it's going to show me something. It's going to show me how am I internalizing that. So if someone disrespects me and I get angry, okay, why am I angry? I'm angry because it made me feel like I'm less than. Well, why do you feel less than? Because when I was younger, that we take a little journey on where did I feel that way? And why do I hold that in my consciousness that it even allows me to respond or react? So we have to be in touch with our emotions because if we shut down one thing, we shut them all down.
Yeah.
If you don't experience your sadness fully, you
Hmm.
can't experience joy fully
Mm.
because you're always going to be like, okay, I'm having a good time, but I got to be mindful of if sadness is around the corner,
Uh-huh.
waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Yeah.
It's like I want to celebrate, but not too much because bad things have happened in the past. That means you haven't resolved the sadness that has been there also. Let me embrace all of it and call it, face it. Because I think the other thing we do is when we shut down our emotions, we're telling ourselves, I can't deal with that.
Yeah.
I'm not strong enough to deal with that. Or I don't have what I need to address that issue. And if you do feel that way, which is another reason why we should remain connected, then ask for support. Because I guarantee you, someone else is feeling the same way.
Yes. Yes. How did this become your thing, Yolanda?
Because it saved my life, Stephanie. So I didn't always know. I wasn't always consciously aware. But if I look back over my childhood, I always had a sense of questioning things.
Hmm.
So, like many of you, I was raised in the church, I was raised Baptist
Hmm.
and loved it, felt connected. But I was always like, well, why?
Hmm.
Well, why? And I would get hushed and shushed and moved to the side. And so I've always been inquisitive as to why things are the way they are. I haven't always used that for myself until I didn't have any other choice. So I've had a series of heartache in my life. My parents passed away. My marriage ended after 14 years violently. And then I'm a mother of four, and my only son passed away. It will be 9 years in November. So, and all of those things happened within 7 years.
Hmm.
It was like the worst 7 years that anyone could experience because it was tragedy after tragedy after tragedy until I had nothing. I had nothing left but to take full examination of what is going on here. Why can't I get beyond this sadness? What's going on? How do I get into, because I was always inquisitive, how do I get into the sadness? Not to stop it, but to see it for what it is and how it's impacting me.
Hmm.
And that led me to Reiki, which is an energy healing modality. If you're not familiar with Reiki, it is a Japanese term meaning universal life force, but the concept is not limited to any particular culture. It just happens to be the modality that I use in order to work with the human energy system. And so I talked about chakras, and our guided meditation led us through the chakras that are on the body, but there are chakras everywhere. There are energy centers everywhere,
Oh.
all around us, on our body, in the atmosphere that can hold particular energy. And so I always like to work with the big seven because they're on your body, and those are the ones that you feel or you're connected to the greatest. And I'm also a massage therapist. And so as individuals were coming to me, I'm like, it's not just your shoulders hurting. Something else is going on.
Yes.
I would always ask, did you injure yourself? Was there an accident? No, I don't know why my shoulders are hurting. So, well, all right, well, let's get in here and see. And so my gift has expanded to not just touching people physically, but energetically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And so, as a spiritual life coach, I utilize spiritual principles, universal law to guide me into why we are the way we are in our human experience, which is a temporary experience. We're spiritual beings having a human experience. And because I'm nosy and I got to know, I want to know all about it. you know, I want to know why I cry unexpectedly. What is that showing me? What is touching me? I want to know. And so that self exploration came from unimaginable grief that was going to take me out of here.
Yeah.
Grateful that it didn't. And so I, again, because I'm like, all right, if I got to be here, then I'm going to figure out everything that I can figure out. Allow me to see what I need to see.
Mhm.
And anytime we ask that question, be prepared for the answer, right?
That I just saw on Twitter a day or two ago. A woman on Twitter was like, "Thank you to whoever shared this affirmation with me." And the affirmation was, "Show me how good it can get." And I was like,
Yeah,
"That's good. That's a wonderful wording because I don't know if I want to see show me everything. Show me the good,
listen,
please." I raise my
there is
hand for the good.
there is a gospel song. I can't think of the name of it, but in the gospel song, he says, "Blow my mind, God." I say that on a daily. Blow
Yes,
my mind.
yes,
Because what I'm saying, I don't want to really, I want you to surprise me, God. Now, that has caused particular things to happen, but that's where trust comes in. It's
yes,
like, I don't understand it, but I'm going to trust it that it needs to look this way so that my mind can be blown and I see things differently. But most importantly, let me see myself differently. That has been my
yes,
biggest challenge.
yes.
Let me see myself. And I, was given a gift the other day. Now, I've read this book, I can't tell you how many times. It's The Untethered Soul by Michael Singer.
Okay.
And I'm reading it the other day, and it's like, instead of saying, why is this happening to me or what's going on, say, what part of me is responding to that? And I'm like, that's powerful
Mm-hmm.
because it puts you in a powerful position to say, if I'm going to ask the question, that means I'm also going to find a solution. And so if I'm upset, if I'm angry, I don't want to diminish it. I don't want to. What part of me is angry? Because I guarantee you it's valid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I guarantee you it's valid. Now, my expression of it may be overboard, but emotion, the emotion is valid. Feelings are never right or wrong. They are all valid. Now, how we express them, that's up for question.
Yes.
But they're absolutely, because they let us know what's going on, what the thought process is, what we're holding in our consciousness that we might not be aware of. But I love that. Yeah, let me see how good it can get, because we love to hang on to the doom and gloom,
Yeah.
right?
That's easy.
What
Done.
right? What would happen if we say, you know what, I want to see how good this gets.
That's
I
right.
want to see how love shows up. Mm.
If we so can you tell me the name of the book again? By Michael Singer.
Michael Singer, he has a new book, and I think Oprah just did a interview with him. Michael Singer, Singer, The Untethered Soul.
All right, thank you.
That is the book I listened to on repeat audio um, shortly after my son passed away. I had to listen to it every day. Sometimes I didn't even know what was going on. Sometimes I wasn't even aware of uh, what was being said,
Hmm.
but the repetitive nature of listening to it was what I needed.
Yes. And you said in the book he says what part of me is responding to this and why?
Right.
Is that is that shadow work or is it like is that what shadow work means? Is
Well,
that a term that you use?
shadow work says I'm willing to look at all things, right? The dark parts, the light parts. I don't really like to use that terminology because I'm at a point where I'm willing to look at everything.
Okay.
Even sometimes when I know I'm being resistant, I'm like, show me, show me what I need to see. Um, so shadow work is a conscious decision that I'm going to look at perhaps my past trauma, my core beliefs that may make me uncomfortable, that I might not even have answers for. but I'm willing to be open to a different perspective because we love a story. I'm a good storyteller in my head. I may not have all of the information, doesn't stop me. I'm going to create a story
Yeah.
that seems to make sense to only me. What is that serving? And so that is a time for me to say, okay, what part of you is creating that story? Why do you feel like you need to create that story
Hmm.
in order for that memory, that thought, that behavior to be present?
Hmm. All right. Thank you so
Yeah,
much. Okay, so let's see. Let me look at my notes. Let me see. So what? And if you guys have questions for Yolanda, so as we know, I'm going to just treat this as my own therapy/coaching session while you're here, since you said you have some time. Okay.
I do. I do.
But if friends, if you have questions, go ahead and ask. I appreciate you guys leaving in the chat how helpful this has been for you already. So I appreciate that. I'm glad that we're here, and I'm glad that we're able to do this together. This was a week that I chose. So this is off a little bit off topic. I have Googled, "Hey Google, am I a psychopath?" more than once, because I at times choose, I'm not even going to acknowledge this thing has happened. So as soon as we finished our live stream last Saturday, I think we heard about the people who were murdered in Buffalo in the grocery store, going about their daily lives, and I chose to not really acknowledge
And,
it for days.
mhm.
And then a woman cried on a call with me, and that was it for me. I thought that I thought that I was dealing with it in the right way by not engaging at all. And then I found out that that was not the right way for me at that particular time. But are there times when the right way to deal with something is to not deal with it? Because, my whole philosophy is doing as little as possible. It's really hard to do as little as possible and also um, navigate these kinds of situations.
Mhm.
Is there ever a time when we should just be like, girl, act like that didn't happen?
Well, let me tell you, Stephanie, I too have had to clearly define psychopath and sociopath. So
Okay.
you are not alone in that. I was
I'm
like, am I an unfeeling person? And so I would also offer to not label it as right or wrong.
okay.
You did what you needed to do in that moment. And for you in that moment, you needed to disassociate, disconnect.
Mhm.
But spirit's going to do what spirit does. And so here comes this woman, right, that cries. And then you had the connection of, okay, it was your time. It's your time when it's your time. And so it absolutely, is necessary for us to disconnect, but we need to be mindful why we're doing it.
Yeah.
So my prayer partner, I love her. She always says, put a pin in it.
Okay.
And that means I'm going to cycle back around to that, but not right now because it's necessary for me in this right now moment to be a particular way. And I cannot do that if I avail myself to everything that's going on.
Right. That's okay.
Particularly, if you are in a service role and you're in a service role, you're
Yeah.
coaching people. And so if people are like, Stephanie, I need you, like, I need you too, girl. We don't always have those moments. And for most of us, we are all in a service role, whether it's our family, our friends, our work, we're all in a service role. And there will be moments when you will be overcome and you're going to have to say, I got to put a pin in that, not right here, not right now, but intend and tell yourself when I have a moment,
Okay.
when
That's
I'm balanced, when I'm grounded, I'm going to go there.
okay. I'm instead going to pat myself on the back and say that maybe that is evidence that I am a healing person. The fact that I can do this. I can kind of set things I don't want to say compartmentalize, but the
No,
fact that I
I
can
mean,
do this and
celebrate yourself.
deal with it
I took
later.
care of myself. I took
Yeah.
care of myself in that moment,
Yeah.
and I took care of other people. I said this morning, I thank God I'm not the person that is so reactionary that I used to be because I'm saving lives by not being out in the world cussing at people, trying to fight.
Yeah.
That used to be the way that I would carry myself,
Hmm.
reacting to everything. That's not how I want to show up in the collective. So I have to be mindful of when I can address things and when I can't. But you have to be mindful and catch it when you start putting so many things in a pinning so much stuff that you're not addressing anything. So you have to tell yourself the truth and say, I'm taking care of myself in this moment, but I'm going to address that. Which
Good.
is
Okay.
why I like journaling, why I like writing things down, because it makes me aware and keeps me accountable of touching in and checking in with myself.
Danny has a question. Hi, Danny. Danny wants to know, how did you transition out of survival mode after your losses? This is important because sometimes people see the end result and they think, oh, I'm supposed to just be able to bounce back. She bounced back, he bounced back, they bounced back. I'm supposed to just, why am I still feeling this way? I'm doing it wrong. So what was that transition like for you?
Can I tell you that it's not complete? I don't think it will be complete until the day I take my last exhale.
Yes.
I manage it better. So sometimes I have to go into survival mode. Sometimes I do. I do a lot of work surrounding my son's transition. He was a tissue donor. And
Mm-hmm.
so I do a lot of talking about that day that he passed away. And I cannot stand in front of people to talk about that day and be a complete wreck, right?
Right.
Like, so sometimes I have to put a pin in it. Sometimes I'll say, Isaiah, mommy's got stuff to do today. I don't have time to cry over you today. I've got work to do. But I know I'm going to cry about it at some point.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm not set in survival mode as I used to be, because I'm now allowing myself to feel. When I started to allow myself to feel, that's when I transitioned out of survival mode. Because survival mode is one thing. I
Yeah.
got to be safe. I got to be safe. You're hyper vigilant, and everything is like you can't rest your nervous system
Mm-hmm.
because you're hyper aware of everything that might come at you, right? And so there are times I need to be hyper aware,
Okay.
right? There are times that we need to, but I'm more in the thriving, centered, calm places because I took the time and I continue to take the time. So I ask everyone, what's your spiritual practice that allows you to be in a state of calm? That's how you move out of survival mode only. Because one state of being does not support anyone. I can't be in that toxic positivity mode all the
Right.
time. That
That's
that
right.
grinds my gears when I see people who are like love and light, love and light, love and light, love and light, and I know I got live, love, sparkle, but listen, that's not sustainable,
That's right.
and it doesn't allow me to connect with people on a heart space.
Right.
If you're coming to me crying and I'm like love and light, love and light, love and light, I'm not connecting with you.
That's right.
I might need to cry with you.
Yes.
And like I said, I want people who are willing to go in the mud with me. If I got to go to the mud, I need people who are willing to go there and know that we're going to come out of it.
Mm-hmm.
This too shall pass. I said that in the meditation. And that was something that I had to write over and over. This
Mm-hmm.
too shall pass. But I'm going to sit with it. If I can right now, I'm going to sit with it until I can tell myself, until I can transform it into something else. Because the other thing about energy, it doesn't die. So that thing you may have been traumatized by that you think you're over, it is very convenient to say that you're over something if you're no longer in it, right?
Yeah.
So I thought I'm over my ex-husband because I don't live with him. We're divorced. I'm not in that energy. But boy, when we come together, it's very convenient for us to think that I'm healed of something because I'm no longer in that experience.
Mm-hmm.
And lo and behold, something triggers us and we're like, I thought I was healed. So be mindful again of right or wrong, one way or another way. We're not designed to be in any other particular place. It's a balance.
Yes.
That means some of both. You've got some of the darkness, some of the light. It
Yes.
gives you balance. You've got some of the sadness or suffering. You've got the healing in the joy. It's all a balance. And if we try to avoid it, that's when we get frustrated
Mm-hmm.
because we think we're not doing it right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I must not be
Yeah.
doing something right If
Yeah.
I'm still sad, I must not be doing something right. Yeah,
Something's
you're not.
wrong with me.
Something's wrong with me.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Mm-hmm. All right, so I've put Yolanda's information in the description as I said. Uh, she is Yolanda Evolved on Instagram, which I love. And YolandaTool.com is her website. You can sign up for Yolanda's newsletter. You do coaching. You teach at you still teach at Cecil. Um,
I do. I'm done for the spring semester, Cecil College in Elkton, Maryland. I'll be back in the fall, but I do my own classes, the same classes that I teach there. I
ah,
teach in other places and spaces. I'm looking to take a lot of them online.
yes,
Um, but I like being. I've been. We've been in a virtual world and virtual spaces so long. I'm like, I don't want to do it.
yeah,
Um, but I do coaching. I do long distance Reiki. You
yeah.
know, my coaches, my clients come from all over the world. I'm in 3 continents, so I'm global out here. And the coaching can be done virtually. The Reiki, long distance Reiki, energy healing, balancing the chakras, that can be done virtually as well. Right now, I'm also getting certification in doula. I'm going to be a doula, certified doula.
Ooh,
I'm so excited about that because what I found and what I find in my work as a spiritual life coach, that a lot of the things that we are dealing with, it happens at birth and even before birth, prenatally. And so if I can work with individuals at that end of the spectrum, perhaps we won't be seeing a lot of what we're seeing. You know, I want, as I say all the time, I want my people to be well across the spectrum
yes.
from birth and beyond. So I'm putting myself in all places and spaces. And thank you so much for this opportunity because,
Thank you.
you know, you are a healer. You allow women to experience freedom and peace and to live their life on their terms. And that's beautiful. That is beautiful. I actually have some people that I've sent your way because
Yes.
they, I don't want to be here anymore. I'm like, you need to follow Stephanie because Stephanie will show you how to do that masterfully.
Yeah.
So thank you for your healing that you provide to your community, to our community.
Yes.
Uh, Black women have always been healers.
Yes.
It's who we are.
Mhm.
It's who we are. I want us to internalize the healing that we are giving to others to
Yes.
ourselves. And I think that we are doing that now in a grand way, that we recognize I'm really great out here. And I need to and I need to take part of some of that for myself.
That's right. That's right.
So I
Yes.
know that your community is filled with healers. I could feel it. I could feel some tears, some awarenesses that okay, may not have been taking care of myself as I should. Which is why we do what we do because what happened, unfortunately, in Buffalo will continue to happen on some level in other spaces.
Mhm.
And so we can't control that. We can control this and how we respond and how we hold that energy. And it's my belief that if more of us took stock of what's going on in here, we wouldn't be seeing so much of that.
Mhm.
But we are seeing unexpressed anger, unexpressed sadness, unexpressed grief, unexpressed feelings of love. It doesn't excuse anyone's behavior because I don't do that.
No.
But I know when I see it. I see it.
Mhm.
How could you not love this? I mean, come on. What's wrong with
Exactly
you?
right. I'm excited about you becoming a doula. So Yolanda is a new grandma. Was the grandbaby like kind of an inspiration for you to become a doula? Was that something that sprung from that?
Yeah, absolutely. I had no idea how much joy that young lady would bring to our family, but my goodness. And so, because of COVID, we weren't able to do what we thought we were going to do.
Okay.
And so, I actually saw the power of energy work at its fullest through my daughter because I wasn't allowed to be in the room with her because of COVID,
Yeah.
but we were on Zoom. And we had, and as a matter of fact, her labor started. I had just done a Reiki session, and she came in the room. She's like, "I think I'm in labor." And when I tell you, I was so calm. I was so calm. And I took her to the hospital. I was calm. I did not think I would be calm. She didn't freak out. So I was like, "Oh, I can keep it together when it's personal.
I,
I know I can do it when it's professional, but
yeah.
when it's really personal, I can keep it together. And the fact that, when that little baby came into this world, and I said the first thing that I need to gift her is energy and all of the rituals that was able to do for her. Oh my goodness, yes. So that, it's something that I had always thought of, but that was absolutely the reason to jump into it. So I'm excited about that.
Yes. Okay. Me too. Me too. I want to talk a little bit about this, your home and your space, the space that you've created to make, or yeah, the space that you've created. When I talk to women about being in a toxic situation, environment, my answer is get up and go, right? Get up and leave, right? Uh, but there are women who are in the process of leaving the United States and need to create a space in their home where they are today, where they can start healing while they're preparing to leave. Why does your home feel so good? I've been to Yolanda's house. I'm just bringing that up. So why does your home feel so good? How did you make that space so, I don't know, warm is what I would call it. But how?
How? For me, it is as necessary as feeding myself. It is as necessary as sleeping. I can't live without peace. I just cannot. And I know what it feels like when you don't have it. So
Yes.
I fight to have it. Well, no, I don't even fight because I'm not fighting anywhere in my life.
Okay.
I maintain it.
Yes.
And so I think for women who it doesn't matter the square footage of the space because your mind has no limits. So you get to create what is calming and safe for you. Even if you're in a home with 20 million people, carve out a place and space that is designated for your healing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm in my office, but on the other side, I have my altar, I have my plant babies, I have big windows that I can look out into nature.
Yes.
My bedroom is also a sanctuary. I intend it to be so. These are peaceful places. My house is peaceful because I intend it to be so. And so there was a time when I didn't have a television in my room because I said, no, TVs can emit news and reality shows and all that other stuff. Get it out of here.
Uh-huh.
you know, I need my space to be luxurious. I bought myself a big old king size bed. Why? Because I want to feel like I'm on vacation every time I'm at home. So there are particular elements in my home that are necessary.
Right.
Elements of water.
Mm-hmm.
I when I take my shower, it's my time.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that everyone, if you intend it to be so, all of the mundane tasks that you are doing every single day can be your spiritual practice if you intend it to be so. Whether it's taking a shower, eating, dressing, do it with the energy of this is healing for my body. I tell my daughters, when you jump out of the shower, don't just rush to get dressed. Sit in that just for a minute and think about what you've done. You've just cleansed your body energetically and physically. Celebrate that. Take your time. We don't rush over here. I think I have one clock in my house, and I have to have that in my office. No clocks, except for the ones that come with the appliances. We take it easy. I have a space in my backyard. I have to go outside every single day, even if the weather isn't that great. I have to say thank you. So creating an energy, a safe space is where is your space of gratitude?
Mm-hmm.
How often are you paying attention to the things around you and saying thank you? Thank you. You know, are you just praying before you eat or are you praying after you eat? Are you mindful that someone went through a whole lot of trouble for you to be able to have the food that is on your table?
Mm-hmm.
I'm grateful. I'm going to send out energy to those who did what they needed to do so I can have what I need to have.
Mm-hmm.
It's necessary to have a spiritual practice. For me, and I would gather for anyone who considers themselves to be a spiritual being, you have to practice it every single day.
Yes. And so I think when I think of a spiritual practice, I think about adding things into my routine. I've got some candles beside my bed that I hardly ever light. And I'm like, I should go buy a sand bowl. I don't know what I'm going to do with the sand. I don't know, but this is going to be right. I never think about the daily things that I do Make that part of the spiritual practice. You don't have to add in new stuff. You just slow down. We don't rush over here. I'm adding, you will hear me saying that from here on in, right? We
I
don't
mean,
rush over.
when you wash your dishes, that's a spiritual practice. You're with the element of water. Water is a healing element. And think about, I have running water. I ate something that nourished my body. I'm grateful for that.
Yes.
You know, most of us, when we're doing particular things, we're doing it with the energy of, I don't want to do this.
Right.
You know, laundry, I'm cleansing my energetic field when I do my laundry. I am fresh and new.
Yes.
You know, when you're changing the sheets on your bed, you're getting rid of stagnant energy, and you're cleansing and cleaning so that you are creating a healing space wherever you go. You get in your car, you're not praying before you get in your car. Maybe you spray something while you're in there. Clean your cars out, ladies. If you've got heats and old energy in your car, get it out of there. You know, clean that stuff out so that everywhere you go becomes your altar, your spiritual space. And if there are particular things, like some of my bracelets were my mother's,
Mm.
so I carry with her with me wherever I go. People have given me things, you know, I honor that no matter where I go. If at the DMV, I need to enter into my spiritual practice. It doesn't mean that I have to close my eyes and go like this. I can sit and focus on one thing, take some deep breaths, and that's my meditation for today. And so if your spiritual practice makes you feel like, you know, makes you feel bad because you're not doing it,
Yeah.
then it's not doing what it's intending to do. It's making you feel worse. And so once you start to look at all of the things that you are doing as a spiritual practice, and then you feel like, I need more, because your body will tell you, your energy will say, I need more. Then you might be able to sit for an hour and meditate. Then you might be able to roll out the yoga mat and say, you know, I want to do some stretching. Then you may be able to be doing those other things that you were rushing to do in the beginning
Yes.
instead of intending to do it in your everyday daily actions.
Thank you very much. All right. We thank you for this super chat. I saw it on the screen, but we'll give Yolanda super chat for today. So thank you very much for the super chat. Hey, empowered woman. We appreciate that. Our ladies on the channel just give you a little dough every now and then. So thank you for that. We'll give Yolanda super chats that come in today. All right. So um believe it was Ava wanted to know specifically about, I know. Oh, massage school. Okay. Hi, Ava. Ava Joy. I plan to finish massage school. Oh wait, but no. There was a question for you about massage.
Okay.
I know. I know it's in here.
I can't really see it. I see I plan to finish massage school at
Here's it.
dawn.
This is Ava Joy. I'm starting massage therapy school at 50, almost 50. Congratulations, Ava Joy. And I have questions. Also feel drawn to Reiki. Okay, so Ava, what is your question? Do you want to ask, since you have a since you have a masseuse here, do you want to ask her some questions about? Go ahead.
I was just going to say, massage therapist. We don't like the terminology masseuse.
Oh, I'm sorry. Pardon me.
only because it has a connotation in other parts of the world. And
Ah,
I'll just say that. I think y'all know what I'm talking about.
yes.
Um,
I know what you mean. Okay. So Ava Joy, if
so
you
yeah,
have
if you say that in other parts of the world, people will be looking for something else. So
all right, massage therapist friends. Okay, so if you Ava Joy,
I
if you have
love
questions,
it.
ask.
You know, that's actually so I started with Reiki. That led me to massage school. I actually
Oh.
um, going to a Reiki class to get certified. I believe it was either level one or level two. And there were massage therapists in the class, and they were talking about it. And they said, you should go by the school and check it out. So I just went by the school to get information. Number one, because my massage therapist had moved away. And I was like, well, this might be a good way for me to find a massage therapist. The next thing you know, I walked out of that building with books and I had signed up. So they are so closely aligned, because once you start to touch people's bodies, you're in their energetic field and you will start to feel things, you
Yes.
know, and people love to cry on the massage table.
Uh,
You know, you're having a physical release that allows you to have a mental and emotional release. And so for me, that's also what led me to spiritual life coaching. I
mm,
felt it necessary
Mm-hmm.
that with all of these emotions that were coming up for my clients, that I have a spiritual foundation to address what was coming up for them. And
Good.
so if someone is in tears on my table,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I just feel like if you are willing to take off all of your clothes and get under a blanket, that's as intimate as people can
Mm-hmm.
be almost. I need to be responsible to what is coming up for you. So that's actually my path started with Reiki, led to massage, that led to spiritual life coaching. So Ava, I'm excited for you.
Yes. All right, wonderful. Okay, thanks, friends. Okay, super chats are coming in, so we'll take a second and thank you guys for the super chats. Tanya Whitehurst, thank you very much for that super chat. Thank you very much, Marissa Price. Marissa says, thank you for these healing words today. Thank you very much for that super chat. We appreciate it. And Bev, thank you very much for that super chat, friends. All right.
Thank
All right. Very good. Okay. So we've talked about your home. I think the fountain thing is also what I'm missing from my from my own personal space. You mentioned
you. Mhm.
having a fountain, so I can see outside, so I can see nature. I think that's close enough. But I think I could use some sort of I could use some
I
sort
know what you mean.
of
Well, I've never been a plant lady, but I'm a crazy plant mama now.
You are.
Um, Someone actually gave me a plant when my son passed away, and I've managed to keep that plant alive for 9 years. It has turned into at least 10 other plants.
Uh-huh.
And so the element of water is especially healing for a lot of people. People are drawn to the beach, people are drawn to lakes, and the sound of it. Someone said earlier, going outside, it's like, I have to go to the beach today. It's so hot. I have to go. Even if the water isn't the right temperature, I have to go, right? We're drawn to water. We're made up of water, and it has so many healing properties. So if you can introduce that in your space, in your home, maybe it's not, maybe you're not able to have a fountain or some kind of water element. Just having, like, I'm looking at my altar right now, I have a bowl of water just sitting there. Sometimes just looking at it, sometimes speaking into it.
Mm.
You know, we can do so many things non-traditionally, like expand the way
Yeah.
you think about things.
Yeah.
Even if you go to work and you just have a container of water on your desk, no one has to know what that is. You know what it's for.
Mm-hmm.
It is said in many circles that ancestors are drawn to water and can be felt in water and can be felt, their energy can be stored in water. So maybe that's what you do.
Mm-hmm.
Other people, other cultures will put containers of water in the four corners of the room that they're in to absorb the energies that are in that room.
Mm-hmm.
You get to do what's best for you.
Yeah.
If nothing else, please drink your water. you know, please continue to make sure you are drinking water. But if the element of water is healing for you, introduce it into your life in non-traditional ways
Yeah.
and see how that makes you feel. Because you're intending, okay, this jar of water. Maybe you go buy a fancy vase or a
Mm-hmm.
fancy bowl that makes you feel like this is sacred. This is a sacred vessel that I'm going to pour water into. And now I'm going to create a ritual around it that I dump this water
Mm-hmm.
every Friday before I leave my workplace. And on Monday, when I come in, I fill it up. And I am intending that if there's any negative energy around me, it's being absorbed by that water. It's being cleansed by this water. And if anybody asks me why you got a bowl of water on your desk, I'm healing myself. Like, you don't have to tell people what you're doing, but if you feel led to tell them, that's also you asserting yourself as a spiritual being. I'm taking care of myself.
Yes.
When people know that you are taking care of yourself, they treat you differently.
Right.
Don't come in my cubby with that nonsense. You see these
Mm-hmm.
crystals in here. We don't do that over here.
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Yeah.
Or the flip side to that, they'll be running to you for healing.
Yeah.
I've also had that experience when I worked in corporate. It's like, let me go to Yolanda because it's peaceful in her cubby. Like,
That's because I want y'all out. Stay
all
out.
right, this is for y'all, not for y'all to come in and get a piece of my piece.
They're the reason you have it in
So,
the first
yeah,
place.
right. And I would even say that the process of leaving wherever you are is also a spiritual practice.
Mm.
If you think of it in that way, the planning, the things that you need to do, honor that.
Yes.
Honor your commitment to I'm going to have a different life experience.
Yes.
And I'm going to honor that. And it's sacred. And I don't need anybody to tell me, oh, it's crazy. Why would you do that? This is sacred to me.
Hmm.
And I want to enter into it in the right energy. It's not that I'm fleeing,
Right.
I'm entering into a
Yes.
new journey, a new adventure. I get to expand my human experience. And so, this sacred event that I am creating for myself, no matter how long it takes you, the
Hmm.
process of planning for it is sacred. Honor it. Say a prayer before you do your research, say a prayer after it, and feel good that you are taking the necessary steps that Stephanie has outlined for you to have a different human experience. It's so exciting to
Yes.
think of beyond the limitations of what we think has to be.
Yes. Yes. Right. What I mean, it's funny how we. I guess not funny, but it's like sad. It's sad how we are so compartmentalized, and so I feel like on a we're like the needle on a record, right? There has been a path that someone else has put us on. Somebody has lifted up the needle and put us somewhere on a record, and we live in this country. We live our lives just on that path until we get to the end, and hopefully at the end we get to live and enjoy ourselves.
I say, I have this granddaughter now, but if she's going to Disney, I'm not going because Disney has done a disservice in terms of feeding us that dream of, okay, you got to find this, you got to have that. If you don't do these things, then you haven't accomplished something,
Yeah.
and it is my belief that the God of my understanding did not create this beautiful world for me to just experience it in a limited view.
Yes. Yeah.
That says I have to be on that record player going in a circle and somebody else determines how I'm playing my life out.
Yeah.
I say all the time, if one of my girlfriends says, I want to be a circus clown, I'm like, let's get the noses, let's get the paint, let's do it. If that's what you say you want to do, I'm going to support you in that because you had to have had an awareness that there's something else out there for me.
Yes. Yes.
That's exciting to me.
It is. It is.
Exciting.
There's a whole school of thought that you wouldn't even have had the idea if it wasn't meant to work in your favor, right? It wouldn't even have come to you to be a
It
possibility
wouldn't.
if you didn't want it. That's why I'm holding on. I'm holding on to having my own family because I don't think I would have the desire if I wasn't also meant to get it, right? To
Right.
actually have it.
Right.
Yeah.
It wouldn't even connect with you. It wouldn't. That's why that question again is so important.
Yeah.
What part of me is responding to that?
Yeah.
And like you said, the part of me that wants a family because I know it in my spirit
Yeah.
that that is what I'm intended to do. I may not know what it's going to look like.
Right.
I may not know when it's going to happen, but I know it's true.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I'm glad that again, I want to go back. I'm glad that you said that our spiritual practice can look like what we want it to look like. I'm glad about that because I've been trying to do what people tell me, and I'm like, I don't know, what am I supposed to do with this? I don't, this doesn't connect with me. I really am
Right.
appreciative that you have shown us how to turn what we do into a spiritual practice by slowing down, by being mindful, by acknowledging the thoughts that are coming to us while we do the thing and not going through our day just out of habit, mindlessly. Yeah.
Right. And does that not feel more freeing and less restrictive? As I said, many people come to their spiritual awakening, spiritual life through religion.
Hmm.
If I did not have that foundation, I don't know what my spiritual life would look like.
Right.
But I know that I have exceeded the limitations of the organized religion in which I was raised,
Yeah.
right? Because I'm always asking questions, why? So I might be, going to a Buddhist temple. I might be reading the Quran. I might be looking in all places, but I'm looking with the lens of where's the love
Yes.
that everyone talks about, that God is love. If that is true, then where is it? Let me seek it right now. I am for I don't know how many times I've read this book. I thought it had it near me, but All About Love by Bell Hooks.
Ah,
So I have a community of people on Clubhouse that we've been meeting. We've been meeting for 3 years, not exclusively on Clubhouse, but right now we're meeting on Clubhouse every morning. And we have committed this entire year to dissect All About Love. So I read one paragraph every single morning. There are 13 chapters in that book, 13 or 14 chapters, and we are taking our time by dissecting paragraph by paragraph by paragraph all of the different thought processes that Bell Hooks, God rest her in eternity, has come up with in terms of what is love. And right now, we're talking about spirituality and having a spiritual life. Ooh, excuse me. Unlike you, Stephanie, I don't have my water.
Oh, you're out.
I got a little bit of tea. I got a little bit of tea in there. So,
Okay.
in this week, as a matter of fact, we were talking about freeing ourselves from the confines of what we think a spiritual life is supposed to look like, right? It's like, let me go buy some sage, let me go buy some crystals, let me sit for we're trying to force a square peg into a circle that wasn't created for us.
Yeah.
And I am unique, you are unique. And
Yes.
we can find common, ways of doing things, but I have to do it my way or
Yeah.
it's not going to be meaningful. And so, number one, what am I saying about myself if I'm saying I'm not a spiritual person, so someone else has to show me what it looks like?
Uh,
Instead of, I am a spiritual being. What does it look like for me?
right.
So someone can give you the foundation, right? I believe that foundation of prayer, meditation, journaling. We need
Hmm.
foundational rituals and habits, right? Because we're human, and left to our own devices, we'll just be doing whatever. So we need some form and some function. But what does it look like for you? So you don't feel like I'm not doing it right.
Hmm.
This is beyond me. I don't feel connected. I don't know why everyone else is in the throes of this emotion that I'm not feeling because it's not the way in which you are processing it. We all come with, various backgrounds, experiences. Some of us have church hurt
Yes.
where we feel like we can't connect spiritually because I'm not doing it the way that I was taught. What if you took command and said, okay, why am I limiting God in my life?
Hmm. Hmm.
That's my other thought process. Why would I limit my access to God? Why would I limit that?
That's right. That's
If God is all knowing, all seeing, all hearing in all places at all times, why would I limit myself to the way in which I will see God? I see God in everything.
Yvette says she heard the Baptist during your meditation. The
What else?
Baptist comes out of me a lot too. What I like, that the Baptist is in there. It's when it's
In
in there.
there.
But
And I
you,
love it. Listen, you give me a full choir in robes, I'm in there. I may not go to a Baptist church, but if you invite me, I'm coming because it's who I am. It's my foundation, and my grandmama will hold me to that. It's I'm not going to dismiss it and
uh,
say, "Oh, it's horrible." And I would never diminish anyone's religious
mhm,
affiliation or how you come to the God of your understanding. I would never do that.
yes,
I'm saying for me, I'm grateful for the foundation that
yes,
the church afforded me,
yes,
and it also taught me to ask questions.
yes.
I was fortunate enough to have a pastor who said, "You better question everything."
Mm.
Although my mother was saying, "Well, you don't question God." I'm like, if God is all knowing, why wouldn't I? If I'm going to go anywhere for some information, why wouldn't I go to the all knowing source of all things? I can't ask God questions. That just did not make sense to me. You
Uh,
can't that God knows you best. So if I want to know something about me, I can't ask God. You're not supposed to question God. I'm like, that doesn't make sense. And so I would have a lot of headaches as a young person,
yeah.
even just up and through my 40s, because things just didn't make sense to me. And so once I started asking God, why am I here?
Hmm.
Why would you keep me here after my child passed away? Why am I here? Those were the questions that I had. What was that about?
Yeah.
How dare you?
Yeah.
That's shadow work.
Hmm.
Being honest that you're angry with God. You didn't do what I thought you were going to do, God. Why is that? And can I tell you, in my shower, I heard one morning, my son also gave and left this world. And I was like, I'll never ask God that question again.
Hmm. Hmm.
Why my son? So We have to go into the darkness to ask those questions, but we also have to recognize what we're saying about ourselves. If we continuously say, someone else has to show me the way, or I'm uncertain. That's why I say I'm a facilitator.
Yes.
I don't give advice. I don't, when I'm coaching with someone, I'm facilitating. I'm asking questions.
Yes.
Why do you think that way? Where did you learn that? How is that serving you? Where's the benefit? Knowing when to ask the right question at the right moment so that an awareness can come, because more likely than not, you you're going to get there. You just maybe needed some training wheels. You just maybe needed a coach to kind of facilitate and guide you. But pay attention to what you're saying about yourself. If you think your answers are external,
Mm.
if
Mm-hmm.
you think your answers are external and you're always looking externally, then that thing has the power to control you. And you may never feel grounded. That's why people jump from one thing to another. I go over here and I'm looking for something that didn't work. Well, let me go over here and get a little bit of that and that didn't work, because you're missing the knowing that is in all of us. And
Mm.
sometimes we have to get quiet to hear it, but it's there. It's absolutely there.
So what's the limit for us as humans? what is
Ah,
what is the limit for us as spiritual beings?
there is no limit spiritually, right? So humans, how I deal with the humanness in myself and in the world is to recognize this is temporary. We're all born, we all will die. Humanness is a temporary experience. We don't know how long it's going to be. We don't know how long that experience is going to be. So that is the limitation, that we don't know. But in the spiritual essence of who we are, because we are also spiritual beings, that is limitless. Your mind can create whatever you want it to create. Your feelings can take you wherever you want to go. And if you combine your spiritual nature with your temporary human experience, think about what you could do if you say, let me take this thing that is eternal and use that as the fuel in this temporary car that I got. And let me see where it can take me. Let me see where I can go with the thought, with the feeling that I don't have any limitations as a spiritual being. If I say I want to do something, I can do it. If I say I want to create a family, if I say that there's a partner out there for me, I know they're out there. And I'm going to intend it to be so now, not when God sends them, not when God says I'm now. So ask yourself, who do I have to be to experience that?
Mm.
You say you want to be in a loving relationship. Well, who do you have to be to experience a loving relationship? Be that now to
Mm-hmm.
yourself.
Yes.
If you say you want a relationship that's built on honesty, are you honest with yourself?
Mm.
Because how are you going to be honest with somebody else if you're not honest with yourself? I mean, how is that supposed to work? If you say you want a partner that is affirming, how are you affirming yourself? So you know what it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
So you know what it sounds like. So you're not falling for anything that anybody's saying. You know how we get so caught up in the good morning text? That's how you're affirming yourself? Please. Call yourself higher so that good morning text doesn't feel like the sun just opened up. So that good morning text feels like, thank you for being kind.
Uh-huh. But you've covered the bare minimum. Okay.
You've covered the bare minimum. You said hello. You've covered the bare minimum. So we don't feel like we're, out in the desert dying of thirst and someone gave a drop of water and we feel like it's champagne. Like,
Uh-huh.
fill yourself up so that when the time comes, because it will come, that someone is in front of you, you know what it looks like. You're sure of it. You're not uncertain. You're not looking for all the red flags
Right.
because you know I know what loving me looks like because I love me on a daily basis. That's not it. This ain't it.
Do you want to, friends in the chat, do y'all want to share in the chat what you're manifesting for yourselves? If you use the word manifest, if you
I
want to
love
share that, y'all know. I want children and I want a yacht. Okay. I'm working on these.
I want that for you. So here's the thing about manifesting, and
Okay.
we're doing it all the time, whether we're consciously aware of it or not. Where your focus and attention is going, that's what you're manifesting. You
Yes.
don't have to be consciously aware of something. to be manifesting it. It's an energetic universal law. It's always going on, right? So if you affirm, I'm going to have a family, I'm going to have a yacht, and I hear it, I'm going to affirm it for you. I want that for you too. How powerful is it now?
Yes.
That's that Baptist training. That
Uh-huh.
two people have now affirmed that. And there's this energy and this language out that's like, don't tell nobody what you want
Yeah.
because somebody might steal it from you. It's like, if I have to hold something in my consciousness in a secret, I don't want it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like secret, and that holds differently. And there's a difference between privacy and secrecy,
Okay.
right? So privacy says this is sacred. If you find out, okay, I don't have to, offer the information. If you find out, it's private for me. Secret is I don't want nobody to know
Yeah.
because I'm holding the energy that y'all gonna ruin it or y'all not gonna
That's
believe it.
that.
Y'all, you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
That's the difference for me. So if you are willing to affirm what you are manifesting in your life, how do you know that I might have some resources that will help you in that manifestation?
Mm-hmm. That's right.
And here we are, quiet as a mouse. We don't want to tell anybody what we're manifesting, and other people have resources. You say you want a family. I might know a man for Stephanie. If that's what you're manifesting, I might know, and I do. I know a man with a boat. So we don't know until we say, and it's not that you have to tell everyone
No,
everything.
that's right.
When you know that you are in a safe and sacred environment, and you are affirming, number one, you know it's yours and nobody can disturb it. No one can take it from you.
Yes.
It's yours.
No.
So I'm not afraid to say I'm affirming a wellness center
Yes.
that's larger that I probably couldn't even handle by myself. So I'm going to need some other people to collaborate with me. I'm not afraid to affirm that because how do I know me saying that might have somebody say, oh, I have
Oh,
a building.
exactly. Exactly.
If we keep everything in here and we don't allow it to live and breathe and give it bones and blood and make it a living, breathing thing, how is it supposed to be born?
Yeah. That's
So I love that you asked that question. What are people manifesting? Because you never know. Someone on my call this morning is like, I'm thinking of singing. Does anyone know a vocal coach? I do.
uh-huh.
I'm gonna call her when we get done. See how you manifested that? How do you manifest with closed mouth? I don't know.
I don't know either, Yolanda. I don't know either. Good. I'm so glad, right? The Nat Bishop, who is Trisha Hersey from the Nat Ministry, right?
Yes, love her.
I love her. I don't know her, but I love her. She tweeted out that she wanted a building. Don't you know? Someone gave her a church, a temple.
Now she had kept that in her consciousness and went all about manner of fighting, trying to figure, I gotta make this money, I gotta raise this money, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, I gotta clean up my credit, if she had spent all of that energy,
Mm-hmm.
she may have been able to obtain it, but how would she have felt about it?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you ever had to scrimp and
Wow.
scrape and blah, 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 and then you obtain something and you're like, I'm so tired, I can't even enjoy it.
Too tired to enjoy it. That's right. Worn out. That's right.
Worn out from the getting, doing, instead of saying, I'm a spiritual being. Let me just
Mhm.
intend it to be so and watch how it happens.
Yeah.
It has happened for me this week, just this week. I was like, I want to be real busy this week. And boy, was I ever. But I'm grateful for it. For it. I am grateful for it.
That's why I said I want to be careful with, when I quoted the woman's affirmation. Show me how good it can get. Right. I'm like, show me. I want to make sure I put the word good in there. Right. Let me
Yes.
make sure I'm
And I always say, or more, because sometimes I am prone to praying myself into a box,
uh
right? Sometimes we can say, I just want enough.
yes.
I
Yes.
just want enough.
Yes.
And the universe is like, why is she down there asking for peanuts when I have a whole bounty? She's not sure of herself.
That's right.
That's why she's saying, I just want enough. And I'm good for praying myself in the box. For a long time, I was like, I just need a room. I just need
Yeah.
a room where I can do what I need to do. And I kept getting rooms and rooms and rooms, somebody else's room. Praying ourselves into boxes
Yeah.
serves no purpose.
Yes.
Serves no purpose. So, what would happen if you say, I want more than enough and then 20 million times more? Like,
Abundance.
blow my mind.
Yes.
so that it's so much I can't handle it, and then I'm living in abundance and I can share it with other people.
Yes. Abundance. Yeah. So scarcity, things are not scarce. Well, I think that a part of the reason that we ask for too little, right? We ask for the little scoop. This when I was a kid, was the man preached a sermon. You ask God for a scoop, he'll give you a shovelful, except that he couldn't pronounce shovel. He said shovel. You ask him for a scoop, he'll give you a
Trouble.
shovelful, right? But we ask for the little scoop because we think that things are scarce. And I don't know what's scarce. I don't know what's scarce in the world, but I know it's not money. I know it's not
Listen,
wellness centers, right? I know there's not a scarcity of buildings, right? There's not a scarcity of men. There's not a scarcity of children, right? The things that we
but
want.
look, hey, but look what happens when we think that way. Remember what everybody was out there grabbing up all the toilet paper because we just thought we were going to run out of toilet paper, and
Yeah.
the panic that ensued, and oh, we're not going to be able to get toilet paper. Like that's what scarcity thinking does. It makes you want to hoard, and
Yes.
then you're not sharing, and then you have this idea that somebody's going to come and take it from
Take it.
you,
Hmm.
and you can't even enjoy it.
No.
I literally watched a woman stuff her car with toilet paper during the pandemic. I was
Yeah.
like, she's not even going to be able to see to get home because her car was so full. So now she's putting herself in danger because of scarcity thinking.
Hmm.
And we think, and we also believe sometimes, I don't want to be a burden. I don't want to
Yeah.
take too much because if I
Yeah.
take too much, not enough for someone else. There's enough for all of us.
Yeah.
And it's, yes, scarcity is used to control. If you don't think there's enough, then you will behave in ways that you ordinarily would not behave. I can get you to come work for me for next to nothing.
Uh-huh. That's right.
Come get you to do things that you wouldn't normally do
Right.
because you don't think there's going to be enough. Or you think this is all that I can make. This is all that I am. I don't want to take too much. So yeah, I'm going to take these pennies because it's better than nothing.
Hmm.
And I fall into that a lot. That's one of my things. One of my challenges is thinking beyond the limitations, my human limitations,
Yeah.
right? It's like, well, I'm good just where I am.
Yeah.
I want so much that is so much for me that again I can share it with others.
Hmm. That's right. That's right. Yes. All right. So during the guided meditation, you talked about our feet being connected to what I heard anyway. I'm gonna say what I heard. Yeah, our feet being connected to the ground connects us to all things, right? I think that that is my way of seeing things through the filter of abundance instead. I'm not one person. I'm not one person. I am connected to all things.
Right. And I tell myself one of the affirmations that I use is I am all the things in all things. I
Ah,
see my in all things, right? And so this is what blew me away when I got this concept that wherever your feet or wherever your body, because not everyone is the same body, wherever you go, everyone that has ever existed in humankind has been there. The
yes.
air that we are breathing is recycled air. And so one of my spiritual mothers was like, you know, you breathe in Jesus's air. And I was like, oh, I thought about it. I was like, what? And she's like, you are breathing the same recycled air. So when you think about it, you are in all things. I may not have gone to every shore that exists, but my energy is there just from me breathing, you know? So that's a concept that we can hold in our mind and our consciousness, which has no limits. Our bodies have limits. I'm right now in my house in Delaware. I can intend to be in other places and spaces around the world. The only way I can get there is in my mind right now.
Uh,
However, if my mind tells me you can get there, you can go there. You
yeah.
think you can't get there? What's in the way? Time, space, money. Those are negotiables. You
Yes.
know, those are things that we can negotiate with and overcome. And so I am all the things in all things.
Yes. I
And
love
so
that.
I put myself above or below anything. And so I'm mindful when I'm acting less than,
Hmm.
when I'm engaged in activities where I'm like, this is not who you are.
Hmm.
Why are you doing this?
Hmm.
I'm a single lady. I have to stay in check all the time. Like, what are you doing? This is not who you are.
Yeah.
Why are you engaging in this activity? when you are all the things and all the things, you've been everywhere energetically. You have no limits.
Mm-hmm.
And so be mindful of when you are placing yourself less than or above someone else. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
above anyone else either,
Mm-hmm.
because that could be a whole mess of trouble too, where
Right.
I start looking down on people and thinking that I'm better than, or I don't owe you, kindness. I don't owe you anything. Again, it's what we're seeing in the world.
Yeah.
What white supremacy is based upon, someone thinking that they're better than you, when in reality, the thought is, I'm not as good as. So I've got to put you in a particular position,
Mm-hmm.
because I don't really think that much of myself. Because when people know who they are, they're not worried about what somebody else is doing.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
When you know who you are, you're happy for other people.
Yes, that's right.
You're not looking at them in an envious way, like, well, how come I'm not doing that? And this world as it is, it's such a visual world where we think we're seeing the truth, and we think people are out here having lives and experiences that are beyond us. And some of it is not even true.
Right.
And parts of it is very obtainable,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
very obtainable.
That's
And I
right.
know that's something you teach in your class. It's like, you really, if you are a Black woman thinking I can live anywhere in this world, you really better know who you are.
Yeah. Yeah. I watched some YouTube video by a man who was an animal scientist and a human, I guess, animal behavior scientist, and he talked about how the difference between humans and animals is how visual we are, how visual we are compared to other animals. We have to see it, right? We're not good. We don't smell it. We don't sense it, which is what we say about them. They can sense fear. They can sense, right? We have to see it. And part of what we see today, because we have these phones and we have the internet, we see people doing great, right? And we forget that they're all actual people with a whole life, not just a few photos a day. And that, I think, is really harmful to us. I'm saying all this to say I'm trying my hardest not to be a person who um, see who judges myself based on what I see in other people, because just because
Right.
we see it is that's not the whole picture of who they are. We have a whole bunch of super chats to acknowledge, so thank you, friends.
Wow. Thank you.
Excuse me. Thank you for that super chat, Lisa Clark. Thank you for that super chat, Auntie Trey. Excuse me. Kinshasa, Vargas, Pyle, thank you very much for that super chat. I think you're a new face, so welcome. Hi. Hello, Ava Joy. Thank you very much for that super chat, 1111. Thank you.
Oh, I love it, Ava. I love it.
Thank you. Slim Girls, who I guess is in the UK. Good afternoon or good evening to you.
Oh,
Thank you very much for that super chat. Where's the love? Where is the love? Says thank you, my beautiful sisters. Thank you.
thank you.
Damaris, aka Hio. Hi. Thank you very much for that super chat. Daisy Lee. Hey, Daisy. I'm greatly appreciative. Thank you, Daisy. And Doris, thank you very much for that super chat. Okay, thank you very much, friends. Okay, so Yolanda, I appreciate you coming to talk to us, to guide us through this meditation, and just kick it. All right, I appreciate
I
you
love
so
it.
much. We what did we not what did we not hit on? Is there something that you feel like we
Oh,
didn't hit on?
I just want to say, if you don't leave anything from this space, that please leave with the knowledge that where you are in your life right now, you are still deserving of love.
Yes.
I want all women, specifically Black women, to feel so good about who they are, no matter what is going on externally. That is, I don't know what the purpose is. I don't even want to give my energy to it, to erase, diminish, or just not honor who we are. We have to do that for ourselves in every thought, every feeling, every emotion, every behavior. We may not be able to do it at all times, because I am not one to think that, negativity does not exist.
Yeah.
It will.
Right.
It will pop up, but you'll be reminded, because we're all going to be committed to a spiritual practice of all of the things that we are doing, and recognizing, as a spiritual being, these things keep me connected,
Mhm.
keep me connected.
Mhm.
As I said, I have a group that meets every single morning, Sunday through Saturday,
Oh.
7:30. And because we're all over the world on Clubhouse, we're meeting at different times, but it is necessary. And I do not let anyone leave that space without telling them I love them. I have not met some of these people in physical form. I don't need to. If the pandemic didn't teach me anything, is that love does not need to be expressed physically, does not need to mean I have to be in your face to share how much I love you, because we need to hear that every single day. We need it. And it doesn't mean that we are less than because we are seeking love, demanding love, requesting love. It is as necessary as breathing.
Yes.
It is as necessary as the food that you eat to nurture you, because it will nurture you spiritually. We all need love in our lives. Love is expanded beyond the confines of romantic love,
Hmm.
beyond the confines of family, friends, self love, love of all of humanity. I know sometimes this world will cause you to want to shrink and go inward because of what we're seeing.
Hmm.
I hope that if you're doing that, you're connecting with the love that you have inside of
Yeah.
yourself, and ask yourself the question, how can I be more loving to me in this moment?
Yes. Yes. So, hi, where's the love? Where's the love is close by. So, we're Delaware. Delaware is in the house today.
That's right.
Where's the love wants to know if you have anything in person coming up soon. Excuse me.
Do I? I do not. I said the other day, my calendar is clear for May, June, July, because I absolutely believe that I am preparing for something great.
Uh-huh.
However, if there are events, it will be posted on my Instagram, on my website.
Yes.
I'm always looking to collaborate. So if there are individuals who, want someone to come and speak, I love talking. I don't just talk about organ and tissue donation. I talk about life. I have several courses that I have created, all designed for people to love themselves greatly.
Yes.
And so, if anyone is interested in collaborating, I'm open to that. If anyone is interested in coaching, I do offer just a telephone chat, a conversation, like what's coming up for you that you might need assistance with. I again, anything that feels like a limitation to me, I try to go beyond that. So I don't limit myself in saying, oh, I'm a relationship coach or I'm a this coach. I'm a love coach. I love. My religion is love, and that's what I do. And I want people to see themselves as love. And whatever that looks like for you, I'm here, and I have time and space and openness and availability to connect with whoever desires to love themselves greater.
Yolanda's Instagram is Yolanda Evolved. One word. Instagram.com/Yolanda Evolved. Her YouTube channel, which I didn't even link to at all. Yolanda has a YouTube channel. Uh,
She, and she is going to be better about actually putting content on her YouTube channel. I'm grateful that Stephanie is pushing me in the place that I need to be pushed. She's calling me higher. And so, yeah, I have a YouTube channel. There are videos there. I used to
yes.
host a weekly Reiki session. So there are some meditations on there
Yes.
that you may find helpful. And I hope to be putting, now that I have time and availability, I hope to be putting more content on my YouTube channel. But my website has all of my contact information. But like I said, I'm all over in all spaces, three
Yeah.
continents. Wait, no, four continents. Yes,
Oh.
four continents. So wherever we would need to connect, my heart is open.
Yes. All right. So, and then Yolanda's website is yolandatool.com. Let me put this in again with the
Yeah.
actual link. So I think I'll put it with the actual link so that in the super chat you can just click on the link. yolandatool.com. All right. And if you go to yolandatool.com/about, you'll see how to work with Yolanda. Okay. We are in a phase in our lives, all of us, I have declared, where when we need help, we get help. We don't struggle through things alone. We work with someone else so that it's not a struggle. Yolanda said already about something. You're like, no, I don't struggle with that. Right? We're not doing
Uh,
struggle.
we don't struggle. I actually have a list of things that I am no longer doing this year, and struggle, fighting, all of that. We don't do that. We're not doing that anymore. Listen, I have two coaches. I have a health coach, I have a business coach. I might need a relationship coach. I'm anywhere that I am self-aware enough to know that I cannot do it by myself. I am asking for help. There's no weakness in that. There's none.
No, indeed. You don't get bonus points for doing things the hard way. You don't get bonus points for struggling and straining and doing things on your own.
That's also that Baptist teaching about sacrificing and all of that other stuff that I had to unlearn. Because the Baptist girl in me is like, you got to do this. You got to draw on your strength. You got to wait on the Lord. And the Lord is like, I never said that. Let's go. We are
I'm waiting
co-creating
on
at
you.
all times. That's right. I'm waiting on you. I'm already where I need to be. What you talking about? So yes, there is no need. And there is so much available, so many
Right.
resources,
That's right.
so many people who are willing to avail their time. Be mindful of anyone who tells you you can't do this thing without my system or you can't do this thing without me.
That's right.
I love the fact that Stephanie, you are so transparent and you say this was something that I developed because it was a need in my life and now I want to show other women how to do it.
Yeah.
You're not gatekeeping anything. You're not, this is the secret to live a life. You are so forthcoming in all that you do. And that's healing. And that is the way that I approach my coaching, my healing. I'm not hiding anything.
Yes.
There are no secrets here. There's no magic wand. You come and I see you as already whole. Just know, as soon as you start with the I can't and no, we don't struggle over here.
We don't struggle over here. No, indeed. No, indeed. Okay. All right. So, friends, I hope that you are leaving this session, this live stream, feeling refreshed and renewed, little more healed, right? We're moving towards more healing at all times. I hope you're feeling that. All right. And I hope that you also now know where you can reach out when you are ready to get some coaching, some extra support, some resources. You have Yolanda's information. You've done a wonderful job in the community of writing out what you are manifesting for yourself and your life. We agree with you on these things. I watched the live streams a second time so that I can read all the chat because I missed the chat during the live stream. So we agree with you on these things that you are manifesting in your lives. We agree with you on these things. There is no limit, okay? There's no ceiling.
You're going to get that and so much more, even
Yeah.
greater. Your wig is going to come off by what is coming. And I've been telling everyone, I can feel it. I can feel this shift. Where everyone else may be focused on doom and gloom, I feel a shift so great and so powerful. I'm so excited for it.
Yes.
Just know that anxiety and excitement, it's the same energy. It's all in how you process and manifest it.
Ah,
So, do you want to be anxious about it or do you want to be excited about it? You know, how can you transform that? It's an awareness that you're having that something is coming. Trust it, trust it, and see if you can't say, okay, where is the opportunity for me to love in this moment? It's going to guide you every single time. Love is going to guide you every single time. I know it.
all right. Thank you, friends. Okay. Thank you for your generosity with the super chat. Yolanda, hang on. Okay. Thank you, friends. I'll see you again next Saturday at 10 o'clock Eastern Time. Have a wonderful weekend and a wonderful new week coming up. Bye,
Be
guys.
well, everyone.